Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and this is the channel Licking Floss, and welcome to my WIP Parade. Yesterday I uploaded a video saying that I'm gonna try to get one done this week, and today's the day. Okay, so I know WIP Parades are it's like a great video to start with for people who haven't watched your channel before. So if you are new here, thank you for stopping by and giving my video a chance. And if you're not new here, thank you for supporting the channel by watching it. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, just a heads up, I might get distracted. I might have to pause a couple times. You might hear some noises in the background, but let's try to get this done with. Today is Thursday, I think the 18th, 17th, 18th of July, 2024. And a couple days ago, I've had my 1 year floss anniversary, so it's been fun. It's been exciting. Thank you everyone who has joined me in this journey. I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing many more Flosstube videos for years to come. All right. In my first video was a WIP parade, and I showed this piece, but it has become a UFO, so I'm just going to show the UFO, and it is my Long Dog sampler, Castles in the Air. I haven't touched it. I don't want to touch it. I just don't like it a whole lot anymore, and I think it is because of the variegated floss that I've chosen. It's on like a 28 count linen, just a white linen, and I'm just not a fan of the floss choice that I chose, and I'm not a big fan of that linen choice either. So that's a UFO. I don't have any plans to finish it at all. Okay, so let's move on. Next are my fancy ladies, and I have quite a few of them. So let's start with one I started back in November of 2023, and it is Fairy Flora, and I started this with Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe for the Fairy Flora retirement sale that we started. And I really like this darker brown fabric choice that they chose, so I also decided to go with a dark brown fabric for Fairy Flora. And this is 28 count Earth by Fiber on a Whim. Fiber on a Whim. All the called for floss and everything. And I am keeping her in Sheba Designs vinyl project bag with these cute little mushrooms on the vinyl. Next, gonna try to keep organized here. Okay, next is Adia the Garden Fairy. I started her earlier this year at some point, and this is 28 count Plum by Fiber on a Whim, 2/2 full cross, all the called for. And I really enjoyed the I really like the yellow purple combination. And she is also, well, she's in a Goose vinyl project bag. And then next is Stone Roses. I started her maybe a month or two ago, just for fun. This is 40 counts Nora by Grace Notes Fabric, and this was a exclusive fabric for the Queen City Stitch Retreat. And that is an incredibly small start. It's 1/2 full cross. And then next is what is this? Deco Spirits. I started this earlier this year also. I guess I just started all the fancy ladies earlier this year. And this is on 32 count white Lugana. 2 over 2 full cross. And you can see that dove coming out. This is air. Air out of the spirit decos. And this is in a bag made by me. I'm not that great of a sewer, so it's just kind of thrown together. Next, I have... Sorry, I'm just kind of blazing through this because it's been a day and I don't want to spend like an hour here showing all my... As much as I love doing these videos, I don't want to spend an hour doing a WIP parade, and I apologize, but maybe you'll enjoy a quicker WIP parade. And okay, whatever. So this is Willow Queen. It's a Nora Corbett. 18 count Ada by Oak Crown Studios. I started this back in October. This fabric is by Oak Crown Studios. It's just a turmeric and indigo Ada dye job. I believe it's a one of a kind, and I am keeping this in Ashiva Designs Queen City Stitch Retreat exclusive fabric bag or vinyl bag, project bag. And that is it for my Mira and Nora charts. Next fancy lady I have is the Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I started this a couple months after the sale began. And obviously I'm still working on it. I think the sale was in 2020, like the second half of 2022. So this is what I have of her. I have earlier this year, I said I wanted to finish her by the end of the year. And I've just kind of given up all goals for all my stitching because I had lots of goals for my stitching this year, especially for the Hade Sal, which we can talk about later. But I've kind of decided to quit all goals for my stitching. So this is on the green called for linen by Under the Sea Fabrics with all the called for. And I am doing the darker skin option. I do want to personalize her hair a little bit, and I'm gonna be doing it with the orbs, not the flowers. And I do like how she's turning out. And this is in Dot Dot Goose vinyl fronts. It's just a pretty little project bag. I haven't bought project bags in quite a while. I don't think my budget can handle them anymore, to be honest. And then I was working on this earlier today, and it is the Arctic Animal Cell, and I have a thread still dangling. This is on 28 count Hermosa by Picture This Plus, 2 over 2 all the cut for. And I was working on this little caribou earlier today. And it's coming along quite nicely, if I do say so myself. And I guess I'll mention, so these blocks, they're gonna have the labels of the animals. And initially I thought about doing the scientific names rather than their common names. But then someone on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Sal groups on Facebook was saying that they were gonna change their names to their native language names, and I thought, even though I don't speak the Inupiat language, I thought about that is my the Alaska Native Inupiat folk are my ancestors, and I am half Alaska Native. So I also thought about changing the names in these blocks to the Inupiat names, to the Inupiat language. Even though I don't speak it, I can ask a relative to help me translate. So I think that's my plan at the moment. And we got the Arctic foxes, the voles, the walrus, and the caribou. So there is that, and and I keep this in a little project folder that I made myself. Very roughly made, but I made it, so it works well for me. And then recently I've also been working on the Country Cottage Needleworks Gingerbread Village. This, all the called for floss. I believe the Gingerbread Village came in like 11 separate charts. I bought them all and put them all on this one piece of fabric. This is Ice Goddess by Fabrics by Stephanie, 32 count, 2/2. And recently I've been working on this gingerbread house. So yeah. Oh, I have a needle dangling. Just tuck that away. And I am keeping this in a Shiva Designs little chickadee robin egg project bag. Okay, next I can show just some little random ones. You won't be able to tell, but this is another Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's very small start. Fox and Rabbit fabric, Winter Wren. And I don't know which way is up. Maybe it's this way. But this is Baba Yaga Autumn Lane Stitchery. 28 count, 2/2, all it called for. And I started this back in June, maybe, with like 1 day start on it. And I don't have a cover page for it, so I'm sorry, but I keep this in a Goose project bag. Okay. Next, I have a very small start with no pressure to work or finish on it, but this is for Stephanie's Hello 40 birthday sal, and this is a Hello from Liz Matthew free Christmas chart I got from her website, and it has this little border. It's gonna go all around, and then it has like some trees and caribou on the inside, and it says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays inside of it. I also don't have a cover page for this, but it's on a 14 count Ada, and I'm using a water lily for it. I do not remember the name of the water lily, but it's in my truck right now. And I keep this in an Amazon bag. And I started that one July 1st, I believe. Next, I have a Black Needle Society Save Her Life. I started this maybe in May. I started quite a few things this year. Maybe in May I started this. And this is on a Leah Ravenga. I bought this on one of her Instagram sales. And it says Save Her Life and All Is Magic. And I haven't finished this because I ran out of... So I was stitching this with a bunch of scrap, like little leftover skeins. And I ran out. So I have to make a 1, 2, 3 stitch order to get whatever's left over so I can finish the moth and maybe all the other bits in it. 28 counts, just a bunch of random floss, and this is a Goose vinyl project bag. And Leah's fabric is very, very soft. It's a nice, and I really like the colorway. Next, I have some, what are these? Modern Folk Embroidery. First, I have Namari Tapestry. I started this for Maggie, aka Kitschy Whips. It was like a birthday start she was doing, and this is on 32 count mystery Lugana. And I am stitching this with Gentle Art sampler threads, cast iron skillet. It's just like a deeper, like a deep black color. Okay. So, sorry. Okay, so this is about 5% through. I haven't touched it a whole lot. Okay, sorry about that. I'm about 5% through with this. No pressure to work on it or anything. I think it was just a start along for that Maggie was doing. And I keep this in an Amazon bag. Next is my 2023 birthday start, and that's Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruits of Plenty. And I also keep this in an Amazon bag. And this is 36 counts cream and sugar, fiber on a whim, with Cosmo floss. And I'm like 8 to 10% finished with this. And so I think the called for was DMC, but I wanted to use a Cosmo floss, so I just did like a Cosmo floss conversion. So I could not tell you the name of these or the number of those Cosmo floss. They're just a conversion I found online. So those are my Modern Folk Embroidery. Next, I have 2 dimensions as a current whip. Okay, I have 2 dimensions gold whips. Yeah, they are gold. And the first is Memory Lane. I started this for it was a leap day start this year. So this is Memory Lane. How do I just thought it was a beautiful piece, and maybe I could finish it in 4 years. This is with all the kit material. I have a bunch of dangling threads, but that's as far as I've started. My other dimensions that I've recently touched this, but this is the Magnificent Wizard Dimensions Gold piece. And I have been working up here. And oh, did I say that Memory Lane's in an Amazon bag? And then this Magnificent Wizard is a vinyl front that I've stitched with some scrap fabric that I have. And this is as far as I've done. So this is a lot of the sky clouds, and then this is just the beginning of the dragon wing. This is with all the kit material as well. And I graded this with Bowen chalk pencil. Just if anyone were curious about what I was doing there. So yeah. And that is with all the kit materials. Okay, I'm just gonna see if they could figure it out amongst themselves. Okay. We're getting closer to the full coverage. Next, I will show you my chatelaine, and this is Evening in the Park, and I keep all the floss in this fabric project bag that I bought from 3 Stitches, and I don't know who made it, but This is a cute little pull, zipper pull. So there's that project bag, and then this is my chatelaine. I was stitching on this last night. So yeah, I love it. It's 32 counts. Autumn Splendor by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I haven't done any of the back stitching. I've done most of the specialty so far, but I think between these are some trees that I want to get to, and then this I want to get to soon. Okay, so that's my chatelaine. And then I have a Glendon Place. This is, what's it? Sleepy Hollow. And I started this, oh, when did okay, so let me reverse a little bit. Dimensions Magnificent Wizard I started back August 2023, so almost a year ago. My chatelaine I started August 2022. Glendon Place, Sleepy Hollow I started in October 2023 at the Queen City Stitch Retreat, because I just finished, at the retreat I finished my Fancy Lady Cathedral Woods Goddess, and then I wanted to start this Fancy Man. So I have a small start on him. This is 32 count Haunting by Fabrics by Stephanie. Ta-da! You got a nice little horse butt stitched up. And this is in Sheba Designs vinyl with little squirrels. Yeah, small start. Haven't had too much pressure to stitch on that. And that is all my non-full coverage whips. Unless you consider the dimensions full coverage. But now, this isn't like proper full coverage. So this is Riolus Traveling Sorcerer. And I love the colors on this. I love a good orange-blue color. Like, orange and blue color combination. This one has been calling to me recently, so I will probably touch this gentleman soon. And then let me show you. I'll take out the pattern so you guys don't see it. But this is on all the kit material, because Riolus is a kit company. So this is as far as I got. I could not tell you what percentage this is, but. And I've also used that bow and chalk pencil to mark my grids on this Ada. And I keep this in Dot Dot Goose. When I first started buying project bags, Dot Dot Goose was my go-to, and then Oshiba, and now it's Amazon project bags because my budget can't support my project bag obsession. Got a little penguin in there. So that's Traveling Sorcerer. And these are all my like pattern keeper type full coverages. And then if you recently saw my newest video that I put out yesterday, I decided to pause all my full coverages. Well, all these projects that you're about to see, I'm pausing them. I'm not gonna touch them for a while because they've just become a little too overwhelming and stressful to stitch on. So you probably won't see them for a while. I'm gonna be focusing on my smaller projects. But so anyways, these are gonna be paused for a bit. So this is Supersize Max Color, a stitching shelf. I started this when I moved into our last house back in like April, May of last year. This is 32 counts, 1/1 10th stitch, and I'm not even 1% finished with this. So I started it in the center, and I'm gonna be doing the bottom right quadrant first. Well, that's my plan, but I'm not gonna touch it for a while, but it takes up so much fabric because it is a max color, super size. So that's the big fabric show. And now more closer up. And I think with the 32 counts, 1/1 tenths, I think the coverage is it's decent enough that I am happy with it. I know some people might do full coverage at 32 count 1/1 full cross on full coverages. That's just not what I decided to do for this project. So, and I think I said I'm not even 1% complete with this, which is fine. It's funny because yesterday I was doing calculations on my full coverage pieces because I was thinking about them so much. But I have, out of all these, I think I have like 9 full coverages of these, like what I'm about to show. Out of these 9, they're about 2.5 million stitches, and what I had stitched is only about 4% of that 2.5 million stitches. So once I found out that statistic, I was confident in just taking a break and pausing these full coverages for this moment of my life because they were becoming too much for me. So, and next, I guess, is Home in the Mountains. This was a Suki, the Brown Eyed Stitcher birthday start, 2023 birthday start. So, and I am doing this 18 count Aida. Ooh, what percentage am I done with this? Maybe, here, maybe I'll do another fabric show. So this is a huge one. I don't even think I was able to show the whole fabric, but I've only worked in this corner. Yeah, I want to say maybe 2%. I couldn't tell you. I have the statistics written down, but not off the top of my head. I was not that prepared for today's WIP parade. But if you are curious, you can ask me below and I can look it up and I'll let you know. So it's just this little corner up here. And I have been, so in my family, we've been playing a lot with Legos, and we have also been doing a lot of Lord of the Ring Legos. So I have been wanting to touch this one, but the thought of just pulling out this giant WIP is like overwhelming. So I do have another realist, like Hobbit kind of WIP, or it's not a WIP, it'd be a new start that I could touch if I want to stitch on a Lord of the Rings piece. Another Lord of the Rings piece I have is Farewell to Lothlorien. I started this, I don't know, maybe like 2022? And this one I think is also like about 2%. I don't know the statistics. 28 count 1/1 full cross. And for this one I was doing 939 and 310, or yeah, 310 and 939. I was gonna do Extreme Cross Country with those 2 colors. So, yay. That was another Lord of the Rings piece I have. And then another Extreme Cross Country I was going to be doing was Story to the Stars Max Color by Josephine Wall. I didn't mention the artist. Okay, we'll be fine. So, this one is another, sorry, I think they were getting a little loud. Maybe. Okay, so this was another Extreme Cross Country. This was with 310. I was going to do all the 310 first. 28 count 1/1 full cross. And I'm not that far into this one as well. This is all the 310 for the first page, which is the only page I did, and all the 310 for that page is done. Page 1. And then, okay, this one I do love. I'm probably going to be missing this one because it's about 10% complete. It is Settling In by Chris Dunn, a Pain-Free Crafts full coverage. I just think that this piece is so cozy and comforting and comfortable. And this is 28 count, 2/1 10 stitch. So it's, and is that just a piece of black? Okay. And I think it is stitching up really nicely. I just don't have time in my life right now to be stitching some full coverage pieces like this. And I probably also started this in 2022. So, and I think I'm about 10% complete with this one. And then this is another Haid. It's Foxglove Cottage. I love this one. This is also a very comforting, like it makes me think coziness. This is Thomas Kincaid. And I'm about 2% complete with this. 28 count, 1/1 full cross. And so, see? I am a top left starter. So yeah, not too far into it, but it's funny because this is obviously a tree and trees are green, right? But I don't think I've touched one green floss. These are all shades of gray in here, which is, it's kind of neat how full coverage is like tricky like that. You think something's green, but then it's not when you're stitching it. And this is my oldest WIP. This is Princess Asleep by Yvonne Gilbert. It is a Haid. And I am about 15-16% complete with this. 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And I have had some guilt that I haven't been stitching this, and it is my oldest WIP. I started this back in June-ish, 2021, and it's only 15-16% done. I put like a couple hundred stitches in this earlier this year, but yeah, like I said, I think all my full coverage are gonna be paused. I won't be touching these soon, but I will miss them, but it's just too much stress at the moment. But I love how the colors are coming out. Like I love the aesthetic and color choices that Yvonne Gilbert does. So there's that. And this is my newest full coverage. This is the Haid Sal Tintern Abbey. And my last video that I uploaded yesterday, I talked about how I'm quitting the Sal because of the stress and my family plans that we have going on. I can't be bothered with this full coverage and trying to get to the finish. This is 56% complete with the 1, 2, 3 section releases. It's about 28,000 stitches, and there's about 30 more. There's about 30 more thousand stitches that would need to be done to complete this. But I'm not gonna be bothered by it because I can't be. There's other things in my life that need to be higher priority than a Sal. And I do love all of my full coverages right here, but okay, sorry. I think I was saying I do love, look at that, just all that fabric for full coverages. I'm gonna be putting these away. I'm gonna miss them, but I I don't have the time to stitch them right now. And I have been keeping the full coverage pieces of mine in a waterproof pillowcase, zipper pillowcase. So that's where they're gonna be stored. I think I have showed you every WIP of mine, so yeah, thank you for, sorry, I'm just trying to think, make sure I covered everything. I think I've covered everything. Thank you for joining me in this WIP parade. I do apologize for all the pauses I had to make, but it's just how life happens. And then this is normal. He's my kitty. And I hope you guys have the rest of the... oh, okay, this cat. So I'm trying to think and say my farewells. Thank you for joining me on this WIP parade. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Bye.